Welcome back. What a full day of hockey that was, and what crazy games we have on the first board. And the second board's kind of more sedate, comparatively speaking, but yeah, every Canadian team was in action today. There was some fun, there was some excitement to be had, and the first three games on the board, interesting how that turned out. When I started doing reviews, I would review the games played by Boston, Dallas, or Vancouver first, and then eventually I just switched it, so I went with exactly what the app shows as being the first and last games of the night. But yeah, that's how I used to do it back in the day. So this is going to feel like a throwback. Starting with Montreal and Boston, and this was a throwback game. So it's Montembeault versus Ullmark, and it started off with them showing the 1988 team that broke the Boston Bruins jinx. And watching the highlight package, I thought, this really shows how Montreal owned Boston for 43 years. They showed some pretty painful memories for Bruins fans. I didn't even watch a lot of this. I'm like, yeah, there's Lafleur, there's that overtime goal. Okay, all right. Glad they're showing this to the Boston crowd. But anyways, they had the 88 crew there, and of course, I watched that part to see who was there and who wasn't, but it was fun. All right, so Marchand has a net drive, that's blocked. Pasternak's denied from a sharp angle. Barron has a blast that's caught and held. We get a power play for the Bruins. That's killed off. The Habs press at 6.5 minutes. Heinen's denied as the Bruins press. The Habs, they have a rush that draws them a power play, and they score on it. Caulfield buries one in close. Monahan and Slavkovsky with the assists at 9:18. Geeky then missed an open net the next shift, but Carlo tips one in on a rush from Frederick and Lauko at 12:47. It's a tie game, not for long. Armia would score on a rush, and Roy with his first assist in the National Hockey League. Monahan with the other helper at 14:43. Montreal has the lead back 2-1. Then Montreal presses with 4 minutes left. Armia gets denied, Ullmark holds, and then DeBrusk ties the game from Van Riemsdyk. Buries it on a net drive at 18:10. And less than a minute later at 19:05, Heinen has one that deflects in. Grzelcyk and McAvoy with the assists, but the Habs nearly answer. So after the first period, it's 3-2 for Boston, but I didn't feel like this game was certain, secure, or anything, and sure enough, second period happens. Early jump for Montreal. Fredericks then denied on a net drive. The shots on net are 4-1 Boston at 5 minutes, but we get a power play from Montreal, and they score on it. It's Matheson from Monahan and Suzuki at 6:16. Bruins press to respond. Then we get a power play for Boston. Van Riemsdyk's denied there. That's killed off. Bruins press at the half. They're kept to the outside, but Heinen would score his first of 2 goals on the night. He gets that one from Boquist, or second of 3 goals on the night. I don't know how many goals everybody scored tonight. 10:46 the time of that goal, and then Coyle tips one in front. Pastrnak and Marchand with the assists at 11:35. However, Montreal answers. Gallagher from Harvey Pinard at 13:19. The Habs press with 5.5 minutes left, with 1:04 left. The Habs with a power play. So after 2 periods of play, the score's 5-4 in favor of Boston in what I thought was the sloppiest game I've seen Boston play so far this season. But third period, they lock it down. First off, they finish the kill, and then at 1:26, Pastrnak all by himself. He buries his own rebound on a rush. And then at 4:32, Marchand with a one-timer after a turnover is forced by Coyle. Coyle gets the only helper, and suddenly Boston's ahead 7-4. Shots are 3 apiece at 8 minutes. Boston doing a good job of not giving Montreal much, although once Boston had the 3-goal lead, Montreal lost some of their fight back. Zacha scores from DeBrusk at 9:13, and then it's a power play goal for Heinen, which by my count is a hat trick. Geeky and Shattenkirk with the assists at 10 minutes and 40 seconds, and you better believe I'm not taking notes beyond that. The final score is 9-4. Boston goes to 28, 8, and 9 with the win. Montreal 19, 20, and 7, and hence the 80s magnet because 13 goals in this one. And it was kind of nice to see a 13-goal game when they were talking about 1988, where 13-goal games were not that uncommon. Shots on net, 12-8 for Boston in the first, 14-6 Boston in the second, 10-7 Boston in the third. Final shots are 36-21 for Boston. It felt like when Montreal had chances, though, they were dangerous ones. Power plays, Montreal 2 for 3, Boston 1 for 3. The hits, 33-27 Montreal. Montembeault saved 22 out of 30 before the mercy pull happens. Primo saves 5 out of 6. Ullmark saved 17 out of 21. Not Ullmark's best night, but I don't know how many of those I'd put on him either. It was a fun game for fans to watch. And by the time all the Boston fans were chanting "Ole, ole, ole" when they were up 7-4, they may have done it during the rest of the game too. But at any rate, I didn't sing along, but I got it. I got it. The feud, the fight between these two teams is still there. These two fan bases still not exactly big fans of one another. All right, next up, Dallas and New Jersey. So it's Wedgwood versus Dawes. Breland was inducted into the Ring of Honor. They did not have a very good game for inducting a guy into the Ring of Honor. Early press by the Devils. We get a power play for New Jersey. That's killed off. And then Dallas draws themselves a power play and they score on it. It's Pavelski wiring one from the inner slot. Jamie Benn with the assist at 5:41. It's 1-0 Dallas. Mercer has a net feed. That's held. Johnston's denied from the doorstep. Bratt to Toffoli. There's a near miss there. Myers denied. Wedgwood holds. Holtz is poke checked by Wedgwood at the net. Scott Wedgwood was quite the story in this game. It's only 1-0 for Dallas after one. Second period, the Devils press at 1.5 minutes. Howla gets denied. Wedgwood holds. We get a power play for Dallas. Pavelski has a chance that's saved. It's cleared out. It's killed off. The Stars press after it's done. We get a power play for the Devils. Bratt nearly scores. The Stars clear, and they get a shorthanded marker. It's Hintz from Suter at 7:58 right near the end of the power play. So they kill it off, and they get a goal as well to go up 2-0. Stars then get a power play. That's killed off. There's a press by Dallas with 4.5 minutes left. And at 16:31, they get their third goal. It was a 3-on-1, or Duchesne scores from Sagan and Harley. And after that, Stars have a 3-on-1 that gets broken up. So I think it was Marino broke that one up. So Dallas up 3-0 and not showing any sign of mercy on this. Stars press with 1.5 minutes left. Eventually, Hintz, it looked like a power play. The Boo Birds were out at this stage because, New Jersey was just watching as Dallas played keep away. At 19:42, Hintz gets his 20th of the season from Suter and Johnston. So the Boo Birds were out at the horn. It's 4-0 Dallas. It's kind of ugly after two. Third period, McLeod has a blast to the mask. That looked like it sucked for Wedgwood. Like the shot to the mask knocked his mask right off. He needed a moment, and I agree. That's okay. You give the guy a moment. At 2:10, so not long after that, Craig Smith scores from DeLandre and Harley. Craig Smith then had a rush after that. That was defended. But then at 7:18, Johnston, just absolutely filthy deke by Wyatt Johnston. Awful defense by New Jersey. So when it feels like you could put in Sweet Georgia Brown and it would work for the play, might not be the best of defense. That's the song for the Harlem Globetrotters. So anyway, Johnston scores that one from Robertson and Lindell. And again, just Dallas taking apart New Jersey's defense. We get a power play for Dallas. It becomes 4-on-4. Everything's killed off. And then at 13:15, Bratt gets New Jersey on the board. Meyer and Heischer with the assists. We get a power play for Dallas. That's killed off. And then at 19 minutes, Toffoli makes sure I didn't put up a no mercy magnet tonight. Although that would have been fun. 80s, no mercy, and 80s. And a no mercy down here as well. So two no mercies and two 80s games in the first three games. But with 42.9 seconds left, the Stars get a power play. They run out the clock. They win this one 6-2. They go to 27-13-5 on the season. New Jersey 28-18-5. And on the second half of back-to-backs, it's not a pretty picture for the New Jersey Devils. Shots on net, 14 apiece in the first, 16-8 Dallas in the second, 9-6 New Jersey in the third. Final shots are 36-31 for Dallas. Power plays, Dallas 1 for 6, New Jersey 0 for 3. The hit 16-8 for the Devils. Wedgwood saved 29 out of 31, and Dawes 30 saves on 36 shots. Again, I don't know how much of that I'd put on the goaltending, but you guys can let me know your thoughts. All right, next up, Toronto and Vancouver. This game was absolutely ridiculous. Just from start to finish, just ridiculousness. So it's Jones versus Demko. Canucks press at 2 minutes. The Leafs get pinned down, and this is one that looked like a power play too. Hoglander buries one in close. Lafferty and Hughes with the assists at 3:06. That was the fifth shot for the Canucks. No shots for Toronto as of yet. Leafs look to answer. Marner with a near miss. The Canucks press. Hronek fires wide. And then Hoglander roofs one from a sharp angle for his second goal of the first period. Oman and Garland with the assists at 6 minutes. The Leafs draw a power play. It's killed off. 0 shots on that power play for Toronto. Bertuzzi's denied and close. And then at 12:56, Garland buries one far side. Bluger and Joshua with the assists. So it's 3-0 Vancouver. And it looks like it's going to be a laugher. The Leafs press with 5.5 minutes left. The fans call one. The referee doesn't. It's 3-0 Vancouver after one. Second period. Benoit has a one-timer. That's held. Matthews has a rush chance that was held at the other end. The shots are 6-0, or at the same end. It's Benoit and Matthews are on the same team. Keep up, Shannon. The shots are 6-0 for the Leafs 4 minutes in. And it was just, it was a matter of time at 4:53 Nylander. From a distance, that's one that maybe Demko would want back. Riley and Brody with the assists. It goes top corner, far side, and suddenly Toronto's on the board. The goalies go chance start, and they get louder when McCabe makes it 3-2. It's deflected in on a cross-ice pass. Marner and Matthews with the assists at 7:25. And then also from a distance, Nylander scores from Riley at 8:18. So it was a rough second period for Demko. And suddenly it's a 3-3 game, and it feels like, this is just one of those games that could go to 9-6 or something like that. So the shots are 13-2 for the Leafs at the half. It's not great. The Leafs score, but it's waved off. There's some pushing on the play as well. We get a power play for Toronto. That's killed off. The Canucks press with 2 minutes left, and with 1 minute left, Garland scores from Bluger. So at 19 minutes, it all of a sudden is 4-3 for Vancouver. They have the lead back. There's some hugging and chatting and a little bit of shoving and pushing at the horn because you want to find out what everybody's doing after the game. And so we go to the third period. Canucks press at 1.5 minutes. Kuzmenko draws a power play. This is a chance for Vancouver to really take the lead. But Marner scores shorthanded on a rush at 3:13, and then the Leafs finish the kill. So suddenly we're in a 4-4 tie. Canucks, though, they go back to the power play and they score on this one. Really good cycle leads to Miller having one going off his skate. Hughes and Pettersson with the assists at 7 minutes and 11 seconds. Canucks draw another power play. They score on this one as well. It's Pettersson from Miller and Hughes at 10:42. We then get a power play for Toronto. There's a shorthanded post for Pettersson, so it almost became 7-4. That was killed off. The Leafs press with 5.5 minutes left, and this is where it became the Demko show. It really did. He holds there. Goalie pull happens with more than 3 minutes left. With 1:54 left, the Leafs call a timeout. 1:30 left, it becomes 6-on-4 because the Canucks take a penalty. And with 24.3 seconds left, it becomes a 6-on-3. Toronto doesn't score during the 6-on-3. So that's some pretty good penalty killing by the Canucks. And your final score is 6-4 in favor of the Vancouver Canucks. They go to 31-11-4. I'm as surprised as you are. Toronto 22-14-8, and tomorrow night they're in Seattle, so they cannot wallow in this one. Shots on net 9 apiece in the first, 18-6 Toronto in the second, 19-6 Toronto in the third. They outshoot Vancouver by more than 2-to-1 ratio, 46-21. Power plays, Toronto 0 for 5, Vancouver 2 for 3. The hits 34-26 Vancouver. Jones 15 saves on 21 shots. That's going to hurt the save percentage. Demko 42 saves on 46 shots. Demko had a good night. He saves them, bails them out. All right, next up, Washington and St. Louis. A much lower scoring, lower event game because it's Washington and St. Louis. And tonight, St. Louis played Washington's game, and I thought they did it well. So it's Lindgren versus Binnington. Good early back and forth. We get a power play for the Capitals and Parayko on an end-to-end rush. I can't call it a breakaway because it wasn't a breakaway, but a nice rush. He scores on it. Robert Thomas with the assist at 2:37. St. Louis is up 1-0. Blues finish the kill, but Buchnevich is denied as the Blues press. We get a power play for St. Louis. That's killed off. Kyrou is a 3-on-2 chance. That saved. Oshie, sharp angle shot for him. That's held. Things get chatty at the horn. It's 1-0 St. Louis after 1. Second period. Caps press at 3 minutes. We get a power play for Washington. That was killed off. Good penalty kill. Shots are 3-1 for the Caps at 6.5 minutes, but at 7:44, Braden Shen with his 10th of the season scores from Falk and Buchnevich. Caps, of course, look to answer. Blues press. They're kept to the outside. Wilson to Kuznetsov. There's a near miss there. Kuznetsov having a season to forget, really and truly. Fans call one. The referee doesn't. With 3:11 left, the Caps get a power play. Ovechkin has a shot that's held. There's a shorthanded rush by Kevin Hayes. That ends that power play. After 2, it's 2-0 for St. Louis. Third period. Early jump for the Caps. Alexandrov with a near miss. It's cleared out. Caps press. The Blues block. They clear it out. Shots are 2-1 St. Louis at 5.5 minutes. Parayko has a screenshot. That's held. Neighbors is then denied on a break. Post for Buchnevich from the slot. So there were opportunities for St. Louis in the third. Lindgren having a good game at that point. With 5 minutes left, the Blues get a power play, and they score on it. It's Jake Neighbors from Thomas and Kyrou at 15:51. He just blasts that one through a screen. It's 3-0. Caps get a power play with 1:35 left. It ends up becoming 4-on-4, and that ends the game. So your final score is 3-0 for St. Louis, the Tony the Tiger Magnet, because who was great? Binnington was great. So we could have had, if not for these last 2 goals for New Jersey, I could have had a no mercy magnet at the top of this one, 80s here, and Tony the Tiger here. Not an NHL magnet to be seen, but of course, New Jersey did get those late goals. Shots in this game, 12-5 St. Louis in the first, 9-6 Washington in the second, 11-4 St. Louis in the third. Really good shot, and really, honestly, a great 60 minutes from St. Louis. They win, and they get the shots, 29 for them, 18 for Washington. Power plays 0 for 3 for the Caps, 1 for 2 for St. Louis. The hits, 19-15 St. Louis. Lindgren saved 26 out of 29. And for Binnington, 18 saves on 18 shots for the shutout. That being said, I need to change boards. All right, board number 2, and a lot less scoring. And all NHL magnets at the top, no mercies, no 80s. So we start with the Oilers and the Flames. And if you told me before the night started there's going to be a lot of goals in that one, I probably would have believed you. But it was Skinner versus Vladar, and they were wearing the Heritage jerseys, so I thought that was kind of nice. Early press by the Oilers. Gagne has a chance that's saved, which they didn't count as a shot at the time. I don't know if they went back and fixed it. Maybe it was going wide. Shots are 2-1 for the Oilers at 5.5 minutes. McDavid's denied on a net drive. The Oilers press at 7.5 minutes. The teams exchange rushes. Ryan has a fast break chance that saved. The Flames were stuck on one shot for a while. Brown is robbed. Basically, Connor Brown's not allowed to have a goal this year. Vladar was excellent. We get a power play for the Oilers. There's a shorthanded rush by Backlund. It becomes a minute and 40 seconds of 4-on-4. Ekholm is denied on the doorstep. Everything gets killed off. And then at 15:02, McLeod roofs one on a net drive. Fogle and Desharnais with the assists. Coleman then has a chance that's caught and held. It's 1-0 for the Oilers after 1. Second period. Ekholm has a blast. That's kicked aside. Tanev defends a 2-on-1 nicely without taking a penalty. Coleman has a rush that's defended as well, but then at 1:58, on a 3-on-1, Weegar buries a rebound for his 10th goal of the season. Coleman with the assist on that, because Blake Coleman has to get a point in every game now for the Flames. Things get pushy and punchy on a Vladar hold as we start seeing this becoming a battle of Alberta. Holloway to Ceci, there's a near miss there, and again, the hits are ramping up, the emotions are ramping up. Fans call one, the referee doesn't. Hyman fires one wide from the slot. The Oilers press with 6 minutes left. We get a power play for the Flames. Sharon Govich has a stick die on a one-timer, so it gets cleared out. Power play's killed off. And with 1:56 left, the Oilers get a power play. That's killed off as well. No power play goals tonight. So we go to the third with the score tied at 1. Early press by the Oilers, and at 1:39, Gagne with just a bonkers goal. He banks it in off the glove of Vladar from behind the net. So magic. Holloway and Ceci with the assists, and Gagne, the most baffling goal I would say he's probably scored in his career. Probably. Dueling chants start at that point with the Let's Go Oilers and Go Flames Go. Flames look to answer. The shots are 5-3 for the Oilers at 7 minutes. We get a power play for Calgary. That's killed off. Strong forechecking by the Oilers too. Really making sure the best way to protect the lead is to keep it at the other end. Brown has a rush chance. That's saved. The goalie pull happens with a minute and a half left. And at 19:25, Hyman hits the empty net. He willed that one in. Nugent Hopkins with the assist. And Edmonton's won 13 in a row. With the 3-1 win, they go to 26-15-1 on the season. For the Flames, they're 21-20-5. It's a tough loss for Calgary. Shots on net, 13-9 Edmonton in the first, 10-8 Calgary in the second, 11-8 Edmonton in the third. Final shots, 32-27 for the Oilers. Power plays, the Oilers 0 for 2, the Flames 0 for 3. The hits, 23-14 for Calgary. Skinner saved 26 out of 27. Vladar, 29 saves on 31 shots. So, yeah, big win for the Oilers, but they're kind of used to that at this point. They'll beat you in various different ways, too. So, notice there were no points for McDavid or Draisaitl tonight. All right, next up, Anaheim and San Jose. So this one, nothing happened for a while, and then all of a sudden it just became crazy. So it's Gibson versus Blackwood. Early chances for Anaheim. Power play for the Sharks. That's killed off. Just the one shot. Shots are 5-1 for the Ducks. 7 minutes in. The Ducks press. They're kept to the outside. Sharks press with 9 minutes left. San Jose scores, but it's offside, so that's no goal. The Ducks press on the next shift. There's more pressure by the Ducks in the final minute, but it's scoreless after 1. And that's where you get nervous if you're a Ducks fan there, because they outshot them by a lot in that first period. No goals. Second period, early power play for the Ducks. Fowler has a shot that deflects wide. That power play is killed off. We then get a power play for the Sharks. That was killed off. No shots for the Sharks. Shoulder save on Fowler. Puck's cleared out. The shots are 3-0 for Anaheim. 9 minutes into the period. So kind of quiet games. And it feels like this is becoming more and more of a thing where there just aren't very many shots coming through. It's something you'd see in the occasional game, but it feels like it's becoming more and more common. Whether it is or isn't, I don't know. Maybe I'm just more aware of it. The game gets kind of punchy halfway through. The first shot for the Sharks in that period is just a trickler to Gibson. It even deflected off somebody else's stick to him, but it counts. And then Vlasic, it's a 2-on-1 rush. He opens the scoring from Couture and Blackwood at 15:04. That's right, Mackenzie Blackwood on the board. And Logan Couture, in his return, he gets on the board with an assist. Ducks nearly answer, and then it's a question of whether they did or they didn't. So they review it. It takes a while, and it went in. So Lacombe is credited with his first NHL goal eventually. He gets that one from Henrique at 15:21. Ducks press with 3.5 minutes left, but Burrows with a one-timer. He puts San Jose back into the lead from Hurdle at 17:33. And then at 19:30, Zetterlund, high short side on a rush. He scores to make it 3-1 San Jose from Carpenter and Thrun. Before the period's out, Adam Henrique answers for Anaheim from Terry and Carlson at 19:54. A game that was scoreless through 35 minutes is 3-2 in favor of San Jose after 40. So we go to the third period. Strong start for the Sharks. Things get punchy at 4:21, but it stays 5-on-5, which the fans didn't like. Shots are 6-2 for San Jose, 6.5 minutes in. The Sharks press, but they take a penalty while they're pressing. That's killed off by the Ducks. It was not a great power play for Anaheim. Sharks press with 8 minutes left, and then at 12:15, Ruda would score from Zetterlund and Hoffman. Ducks get a power play with 6:12 left. Terry's denied and close, but then McTavish on a nice pass from Terry at 15:11 scores to make the score 4-3. Goalie pull happens with 2 minutes left, and at 19:52, Tomas Hurdle, who had an assist earlier in the game, gets a goal to go with that. Sturm with the assist, and San Jose wins this one 5-3. They go to 11-31-4 on the season. For Anaheim, 15-29-1, and when they have their rematch, I will be there in Anaheim. Shots on net, 12-2 Anaheim in the first, 8-5 Anaheim in the second, 15-12 Anaheim in the third. They outshoot San Jose 35-19. Power plays 1-for-3 for Anaheim, 0-for-2 for San Jose. Hits 9-6 for San Jose. What I found funny about this is Mackenzie Blackwood, the goaltender that New Jersey decided to jettison, 32 saves on 35 shots. John Gibson, a goalie that's talked about all the time by Devils fans and just the media in general is maybe going to the Devils. Gibson, 14 saves on 18 shots. Just saying. So, throwing that out there. All right, next up, Pittsburgh and Vegas, and it looked like Pittsburgh was going to get a road win, and then, So, Jarry versus Thompson. Pietrangelo has a net drive that saved. Vegas draws a penalty. Cotter's denied. Cotter had a really good game. He doesn't show up on the score sheet, but he had a really good game. Penn's clear. It's killed off. Howden to Colasar. There's a near miss there. Marchessault has a chance to deflect out. We get a power play for Vegas. That's killed off. Pressed by the Penguins in the final minute. It's scoreless after the first. Second period. Early press by Vegas. Howden's denied on a fast break. The shots are 3-1 for Vegas at 6.5 minutes. But at 9:02, Graves puts one in off of Thompson from behind the goal line. So maybe he knew what Gagne was going to do. But which of those goals would have been first? This one was first, so Gagne would have been copying Graves. So yeah, that one goes in off Thompson, and Vegas looks to answer. Pressed by the Penguins, they're kept to the outside. Roy has a net feed that's picked off. We get a power play for the Penguins. Letang has a screenshot that saved. That power play's killed off. White Cloud's shaken up. He skates off, so I'm always, at least a little bit encouraged when a player doesn't need help getting off the ice. They skate off on their own. It was an awkward fall, so should be okay. And then Gensel gets the second goal for Pittsburgh. It's his 20th of the season. It's his 7th 20-goal season. Crosby and Pettersson with the assists at 14:01. And then the Penguins look for another. They're up 2-0. They're playing well on the road. Cotter's then denied from the slot. The Penguins press with 4 minutes left. But yeah, they're up 2-0 after 2. Third period, Marchessault has a shot that's held. Vegas with the lone shot on net 3.5 minutes in. Penguins defending quite well. And I shouldn't have put that up there because then Vegas starts scoring. At 5:18, it's Marchessault from Barbashev and Martinez. And then at 6:52, on what was the second of back-to-back shots that went in the net, Dorofeev scores from Stevenson and Stone. So I'd like to apologize to Penguins fans. I shouldn't have put Penguins defending very well. Doesn't matter. Vegas in the third period at home, they're dangerous. Rust has a wraparound chance that's saved. Power play for Vegas. Stevenson has a one-timer that's held. It was killed off. Jarry with some really nice saves to kill it off. But shortly after it ends, anyways, Brisson gets his first NHL goal. Congratulations to him on that one. Barbashev and Pietrangelo with the assists at 9 minutes and 40 seconds. Brendan Brisson is a first-round draft pick. and has a bright future. So Vegas might have a keeper on their hands. Vegas presses for another. There's a press by the Penguins with 6 minutes left. Letang misses one high. Vegas clears. Goalie pull happens with 1:53 left. There's an empty net miss by Stone. Vegas does get a power play, though, to end the game. So they win this one 3-2. They go to 27-14-5. For Pittsburgh, 21-16-6 with the loss. Shots on net, 8-6 Vegas in the first, 14-10 Pittsburgh in the second, 11-5 Vegas in the third. Final shots, 29-25 for the Golden Knights. Power plays, Pittsburgh 0 for 1, Vegas 0 for 4. Hits, 22-16 Pittsburgh. Jari saves 26 out of 29. Thompson, 23 saves on 25 shots. So, yeah, Vegas with an impressive comeback tonight. And to keep themselves, a little bit ahead of that Edmonton team there that's charging really, really fast. All right, last game of the night, the Rangers and the Kings. So it's Quick versus Riddick. Jonathan Quick in his return to LA. And obviously the LA fans, adore him and really, really nice ovation for him and all that. Moore has a rush chance. That's defended. Trocheck hits the outside of the post in close. The Kings press at 3.5 minutes. Keandre Miller has a fast break chance. That's saved. Shots are 3-2 for the Kings 6 minutes in. Quick, he teared up during the emotional tribute that they gave him, and again with an ovation. And the Kings did the right thing. They tested him the next shift. So you see that the goalie is, crying a little bit. Take some shots at him. You just never know. So I thought that was smart of the Kings to do that. But he passed that test. Danault has a chance that's saved and held. The Kings draw a power play. There was a shorthanded chance for Miller. He fires one wide. It's a good kill. They killed that off. Shots are 8-2 for LA with 7.5 minutes left. The Rangers press with 1.5 minutes left. But in 1925, on a turnover, Fiala scores for Moore. And he just outweighted Quick to put the puck in the net. So it's 1-0 LA after one. Second period, Kopitar to Anderson. Near miss there. Shots are 2-0 for the Kings at 4.5 minutes. The Rangers went over 20 minutes between shots in this game. So over a period between shots. Not a recipe for success, but it shows that maybe the Kings are starting to get their game together a little bit. So Lafreniere gets shaken up. The Rangers get a power play. He was okay. But yeah, Lafreniere tonight, he got shaken up a few times. So the fans boo the call. That's killed off. The Rangers are finally getting some shots with that, though. Kempe has a rush chance that deflects out. The Rangers press with 7 minutes left. Eventually, they do score. Kreider gets a goal from Fox and Zibanejad at 14:39. The Rangers press with 3.5 minutes left. But at 18:16, there's a loose puck after LA had a rush. The puck's right there next to the crease there, and Byfield buries it to put LA ahead 2-1. So it's 2-1 LA after 2. Third period, shots are only one apiece at 5 minutes. And I had to write that up there because I'm like, I got to prove to people I'm watching this somehow. Like, there just wasn't much happening. I kept going back to that game, and I'm like, nope. So, delay a game call gives the Rangers a power play. Crossbar and out for Lafreniere. Power plays killed off 2 shots. The nice thing with the post and out was that immediately Riddick turns around and rubs the post to thank them while they were debating whether or not it hit the crossbar. When the goalie turns around and he says, thank you, that's very nice of you, that means it hit the crossbar and went out. So Moore fires one wide on a rush. Brodzinski has a net feed, near miss there. Zach Jones catches up to Laferriere on a breakaway and prevents him from getting to the net. So very nice move by Zach Jones there. Near miss for Trocheck. The Rangers press. Anderson has a rush chance. That's denied by Quick. Lafreniere then takes a puck to the face. He would come back, but man, this was not a great night for Lafreniere. Post and out, high stick to the face, puck to the face. It's not his day. If he's recently watched Final Destination, he may just keep to himself for a bit here. Although they play again tomorrow, don't they? Yeah, the Rangers are playing tomorrow in Anaheim. So just maybe watch. Don't walk under any ladders or anything if you're Lafreniere. Kakko has a net drive chance. That save. The Rangers press with 4 minutes left. With 1:39 left, the Rangers go on to the power play. Soon after, they pull the goalie to make it 6-on-4. But the Kings hold on. They win this one 2-1. Much needed victory for the Kings. They go to 22-13-8 with the win. The Rangers 28-15-2 with the loss. The Rangers are really there's struggles right now for the Rangers, and they really need the win tomorrow night against Anaheim. Shots on net 12-2 LA in the first, 9-6 New York in the second, 12-8 New York in the third. Final shots are 26-23 for the Kings. Power plays, the Rangers 0 for 3. That's not like them. LA 0 for 1. Hits 28-16 for the Rangers. Quick save 24-26. He was good. Riddick saved 22 out of 23 at the other end. So there you go. You guys are all caught up. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you have not done so already. And hey, thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.